So, for Malaysian Jazz Piano Festival, there is something that there's another thing that you guys created, which is the Malaysian Real Book. So, from what I know about real books, there's only one. It's very thick,
Yeah.
and it is in photocopy version
Yeah.
that everybody shares
Illegal.
around. Yes, yes.
Those days illegal.
Yeah.
Now it's licensed.
Yeah, but nowadays it's all on the laptops
Yeah, yeah,
and
true.
iPads, and it's not Malaysian. But so what made you guys think of doing and creating this Malaysian Real Book?
I think this is something which we had actually started this in MJPF Festival number 6, right? Where we said, okay, the final night, all we want to do is play Malaysian tunes.
Yeah.
And we've been encouraging that. Okay, all the performers at that night played strictly Malaysian compositions. I think I played some P. Ramlee thing, and it was so good. And people were saying, where did y'all get these tunes from, right? So we've been doing the initiative, and then Cher Siang came up with the idea, say, hey, and told me, say, we really need to have our Malaysian Real Book. And I thought that was correct. We really need to have the Malaysian Real Book.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, I mean, I love to read about history.
Yes.
And knowing American jazz history, the writings, the documentations, and the whole repertoire, the standards, what makes standards and all that, somebody at some point have to do it.
Yes.
So jazz in the early years of jazz, nobody really treated it seriously. It was just popular music and whatnot, devil's music. But down the line, started to become more and more serious,
Yeah.
and people start to write about it and all that. I always look at our scene. We actually have quite a healthy scene going.
Yes.
A lot of people are playing, a lot of people are doing things, but we are lacking of that documentation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this thing is like, 1,000-year-old tree grew in the middle of the jungle, and then it fell down. Nobody heard it. Nobody knew that it actually exists before. So does it exist or not? So I always look at documentation as the weakest link in our scene. So perhaps, then Malaysian Real Book is something that perhaps we are writing history now,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
So by doing that, I also do hope that, I have to admit I'm ashamed to say that I know more about John Coltrane's life than I know about Afonso Solano or Jimmy Boyle or whoever. And I know, the changes to maybe 100 songs from the real book.
Yeah.
But I actually don't know many Malaysian classics,
Yep.
things like that. And it's not just me, actually. I would say all my colleagues and the young generations. Yeah, exactly. So this is a problem that we need to
It's a problem
look at and
Across
do
the
something
world.
about it.
Yeah.
across the world. We have a lot of Japanese jazz musicians who know all these American standards but don't know
Yes.
Japanese
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
Do you think it's an education thing, or is it because, at least for my music education, like when I started learning
Yeah.
piano,
Sure.
it was always Western
Sure,
European
sure.
classical music.
Sure.
We know all about Mozart's life, Beethoven's lives, because
Right.
we had to go for exams.
Right.
And but since then it was everything was Western education. So how can we re-educate our upcoming musicians, and for me as well as a teacher, who want to continue this, I guess, legacy, right? Our Malaysian music legacy. How should we include that syllabus into our
Yeah.
teaching?
Well, the first thing is have a book.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
once
And
we
a
have
playlist.
we have a book, then it'll take a life of its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The product needs to be, you see, like the real book,
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Without it, I can't imagine what the jazz world would have been. But so a bunch of fellas decided to do some bootleg thing, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
It took a life of its own.
Yes.
So we think the same is going to happen.
Adding, keep adding.
People will we keep adding the tunes, but people will do strange things with it.
It's jazz.
Yes, our committee is very well equipped to handle the technical accuracy,
Yeah.
note, style, look and feel,
Yes.
and we are even going to recommend certain chord progressions
Yes.
to do it. Just our editorial input on it,
Yeah.
but the rest of it you'll do with it as you like, lah. Which is the spirit of the real book, right?
Yeah.
Make it your own.
Yeah. Fly me to the moon 1,000 different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
the fact is,
now,
it's here.
it's going to be like tunggu sekejap.
Tunggu
but
sekejap.
20 ways of doing
Yeah,
it.
you do it your style. Here's a very simple lead sheet on it. Here are the words, so you can go and sing.
Yeah.
Huh? That's right. So it's make it easy for you to access it.
Yes. It is a guide and
Yes,
use it as your expression.
Yeah.
that's right. And try to play more of these songs now in your regular repertoire.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
basically that's it. We think it'll take a life of its own,
Yes.
but first, never mind all that. First, let's get a book lah.